What is going on, everyone? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. As you guys can see, we got the Cowmaro sitting here behind me, and this is a video that a lot of you guys have been asking for, and I'm super excited to bring this video to you guys finally. I was waiting until we were at a point where everything was nice and perfect on the car. I wouldn't say perfect, but everything's working good, and I could talk about it and tell you guys what all is going on with the Cowmaro. What I mean by that is, what is the build on it? You guys have seen this car go through a number of different stages, but I don't think we've ever started from step one and gone through every single part that we got on this car. Now, we're not gonna go over every single one with all the fittings and all that, but we're gonna go over all the big parts that make the Cow what it is. So I hope you guys are excited for this video. If you guys are seeing this with the post notifications, you'll be seeing this Wednesday around noon, lunchtime. So you know what, halfway through the work week, halfway through the day, hammer it out, knock it out, get home and do some work. Let's head right into this video. All right, so for those of you that are just viewing my channel for the first time, this is the first video. First of all, go down and click that subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss out on any action. This is the Cowmaro, and as you guys can see there, you can't really tell what's going on in the engine, but I'll give you the rundown of what's going on in the internals. So it is a 416 stroked LS3, so it's got a 4-inch stroke crank from Texas Speed. It's got Cali Comstar rods and Weisco pistons. The compression on this engine is about 11:1. We run it 11:1 because it's got E85 running through it, a little bit different fuel from pump gas or race gas, so we can bump up the compression, make a little bit more power that way. What else we got going on? We got some LME ported LSA cylinder heads with dual 660 valve springs. The camshaft in here I got put in the car when I was naturally aspirated. I ran it cam only. It was a manual car for a while. It is our RPM Motorsports. We call it our B cam or our do it all cam. So you can run it great with boost, you can run it great supercharged, you can run turbo, you can run it on nitrous, you can run NA. You can do anything you want with this camshaft, and I put it in cars that are making, it makes about 470 wheel NA. I got some guys making 700 with a Whipple, and then you got my car which makes 1100 to the wheels through a 400 with that same camshaft. Some other things in the engine, LS7 lifters. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty stock. It's got a Melling oil pump, so we got good oil pressure on it. But yeah, that's about it. We got some Texas Speed push rods in there and a comp trunnion upgrade. So as we get up there in RPMs, I like to strengthen the rocker arms and do that trunnion upgrade. As you go up here, up top, we got ID 1700X injectors, and they are fed from a Ford triple pump fuel system to supply all the E85. So that's the engine, that's the power plant. To the tires, through a 400, that's set up on 21.5 pounds, made 1100 wheel, 1090 wheels. So if you do the conversion, I'm not going to do it now, it's about 20 to 22% with a 400 with a converter. It makes some pretty good power. So the big thing that's strapped to this engine are, so we got some Stainless Works forward-facing headers into a custom RPM Motorsports Y-pipe, which is the hot side of the turbo kit. Very simple. You got big forward-facing headers, big Y-pipe. We got two wastegates, 40mm tile sport wastegates with dump tubes on them, so they vent atmospherically. They go straight down underneath the car, and that feeds into 88mm precision turbo. It's a billet wheel journal bearing turbo. It's a 91 hot side, so it does well on the car. It makes really good power, and despite its large size, it's not super laggy. So as we go through the turbo system, we get over to the cold side of it, or the charged side, and as you guys can see, well, as you guys cannot see, there is no intercooler visible on the car. This car used to have an air-to-air setup with a ProCharger intercooler. Since then, we've moved over to an air-to-water setup, which hides right back here. So this is a ProCharger air-to-water intercooler that's really made for a 6th gen ZL1, but we adapted it to the car. After that, it's got a ProCharger blow-off valve, which sits kind of right behind the light. It's a big red blow-off valve there, and to accompany the air-to-water intercooler in the back, in the trunk, we have a Rhodes Race Car 7.5 gallon ice tank with a Rule 2000 pump, so that pumps ice cold water into the intercooler, cooling the charge, and then that comes back up here into the stock throttle body, stock LS3 intake manifold, into that RPM Motorsports built 416. Actually, I could say John Dock built at RPM Motorsports, because scary enough, I put that engine together. That's pretty much the meat and potatoes of the engine setup here. Decent compression, good fuel. I say good fuel, it's pump E85, it's not even the greatest. And then a big turbo, and just have everything work efficiently. Along with that, some other things we got going on up here. We got a Moroso catch can oil separator that's vented off the valve covers, and that's pretty much necessary when you get into a build like this. Some other little things we got going on here is we have a MSD two-step, and that is pretty much a new addition. that's pretty much what you got going on under the hood. As we move our way back in the powertrain, we got a badass PTC converter from Dusty Bradford. He specs all my converters up at PTC. Been working with him for a little bit. Sent me some really good stuff, sent it back. We've been chipping away at it, getting faster and faster, and this converter is awesome because it's super loose down low, but man, does it tighten up top. This converter works amazing. Definitely check him out. His name's Dusty Bradford at PTC Converters. He is the man. Behind that, we have an RPM level 5 TH400 with a reverse manual valve body and a trans brake. And if we go back a little bit, we got some big old steel drive shaft, and this is where we get into the good stuff. So this car has a 9-inch center section. It's a Strange Engineering 9-inch. Now, it still is independent rear suspension, but it's got a big old 9-inch center section with a Strange third member. They absolutely knocked out of the park. That rear end has been absolutely amazing to me. Takes all the beat I give to it. Along with that, we got some Driveshaft shop 1600 horsepower axles, and they have done really well. About 3.5 years of beating on it, and one gave out, but they were, I mean, that's 3.5 years of moving 4,200 pounds down track pretty quick. So that's pretty much the powertrain from front to back. Some other things I have on there to help with cooling, because cooling is a big deal. I don't know if you guys can see in there. Got an oil cooler on this side, and on the other side I have a trans cooler, but you can't see that. They keep my temps really, really good. Suspension wise, what I got going on here is in the front we have a Strange Engineering strut style coilover, and they are absolutely amazing, giving me all the travel I need. Huge shout out to Strange, they're one of my sponsors. I run a lot of their stuff on my other car, the Salty Chicken. I run their S60 rear end, and here I run their 9-inch center section. Now, a little bit more specific on the center section, it does have a locker in it. It's got a wave track locker, so it is super streetable. No spool in this thing. But I have their suspension front and back. I got their coilovers, and I absolutely love them. They have a ton of adjustability. So with front and back, Strange coilovers, and then in the rear, I have all BMR everything. I got their anti-roll bar, I got their lower control arms, I got their trailing arms, and they work great with the Strange coilover because I got the BMR coilover mounting bracket as well. As you guys can see by the tire, it's a 275 Radial Pro. I have a 15-inch conversion on there. The brake and caliper is a Mirror Image AutoWorks 15-inch conversion. They used to run their lower control arm, but since then we've gone everything tubular in the rear. Tire size, I get a lot of questions on that. The front, Race Star Dark Star, it is a 17 by 4.5 with a 28-inch wide by 6-inch tall Mickey Thompson Sportsman tire. The rear, like I said before, is the 275 Radial Pro. It's a 28-inch tall tire. Camaros, big fender wells, 28s front and back, and you're ready to go. That tire is really good. One thing we've been learning more and more recently is it's a heavy car. We're going up in tire pressure. At the track, when I go to make a pass, I normally have this sucker between 19 and 21 pounds of air. So for those of you guys that drag race, you know, like, it's pretty high, but the car is extremely heavy. As we work our way into the interior of the car, this is where things get pretty cool. So this has a custom built Coker chassis cage in there. Now the point wise is pretty, it's weird. It's an 850 cert cage, but it's got a bunch of extra bars in it. So one thing that I do like about this cage is, first off, is the fitment. Everything fits super, super tight, nice, high enough. When you're outside of the car with the door shut, you can't even tell that there are forward-facing bars in it. You just think, man, maybe it's just got a hoop. So the fitment is absolutely awesome. It's all done in-house. Now this cage was built in-house on a 3D machine, so you can get this exact cage for your car if you are interested. You just call up Coker Chassis and say, hey, I'd like one of those, and they will literally send you all the bars pre-bent, pre-notched, pre-cut. Literally fits absolutely perfect. I've never seen anything like it where they just grab the bar, put it in there, and it fits perfect. They weld it. So, some notes on this cage here. It has a dash bar that goes through it that connects to the cage, and it has all the factory tabs for holding harnesses and the dash welded onto that bar. So this cage is 100% around the driver. I got X's in the door, I got a bar in the roof, and I got an X in the back along with some kickers. So this cage is pretty stout. I just got it certified NHRA cert, 850 cert, which is what you'd expect on a cage like this. If you want to go any faster, you need to have bars everywhere. So let me hop in the seat. We got two Kirky seats on some Kirky seat mounts, and we'll hop in here. Whew. Man, nice and cozy. So shifter wise, I get a lot of questions and comments what we got going on with the shifter. This is a B&M Pro Bandit shifter, or Street Bandit. Street Bandit. Chris has the Pro Bandit. So as you guys can see, reverse manual valve body, first, second, third, and it's super easy. That is neutral there. So let's go from the start. We'll go park, reverse, neutral. First, as you can see, it gets that lockout. Second, third gear, super easy, super simple. Really enjoyed the shifter. I'll probably run a shifter very similar to this in my race car. What else we got going on is right here are my switches. This is for my boost controller right here. Turn that on. That gives you boost controller and trans brake capabilities. And this is my bump box. So when I race, hold my trans brake in my hand, grab the trans brake, bump, let go of the trans brake, we are riding. So like I mentioned before, boost controller, that is what the CO2 is here for. I run an AMS 1000 boost controller, CO2 regulated. It is in the glove box there, along with the Davis Industries bump box, using that boost controller to regulate launch boost and overall target boost. Now I don't have a scramble button locked up because I would grab it every pass, so that's why I don't have it, but I have the capability to. Absolutely love this. It allows you to make adjustments at the track, super easy. Bump box, as you know, turbo car, you need to stage under power. That helps me do that. And one cool thing that I do have wired into my bump box is a line lock. So being that this car used to be a manual car, it had a line lock on there to help it do burnouts. When I grab the trans brake, it applies the line lock also, which puts some brake pressure on the front tire. So when I bump in, it does not allow me to rock in the beams. I bump forward and then it holds me there. As soon as I let go of the button, the line lock is released. That's a pretty cool feature that I like because it makes staging super easy. Everything on this car is to make it simple and easy and work efficiently. Other than that, now I know I'm missing like a million different things, so if I'm missing some stuff, I do apologize. But what I would like you guys to do, if there's any other questions you have on this build, on the Cowmaro, please drop a comment below and I'll be more than happy to respond to your comments. I'm going to be in the comment section like crazy on this, so I do encourage comments, because if I can answer some questions, help you guys, you know, build your car. If you guys are building a 5th gen, you have any questions, drop them below. I'll be more than happy to help you out, and if it's something I've already done and I have the answer to, I'll save you some time. Other than that, I mean, this car is absolutely awesome. One thing I will say is don't ask what times it runs. It's a no-time car. I thought about giving you guys my 60-foot times, but the strange engineering suspension that I got on this car paired up with the BMR stuff is absolutely insane. Definitely recommend it, because this is a heavy car that is moving quick in the 60-foot. Please drop your comments below. I got LS Nasty merch. That's my new brand, LS Nasty. Check them out in the link below. That'll take you to the website that has the Salty Chicken merch and the Cowmaro merch. I got key tags, hats, shirts, everything you could think of. Go down there and check them out. I do want to thank you guys all for watching. Hope this video was helpful and you don't mind me talking too much. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, great rest of the week. Have some fun, turn some wrenches, do some work, and we'll see you guys next time.